David versus Goliath, Apple versus Microsoft. But in the heart of our computers, there's another rivalry: AMD versus Intel. For decades, these titans have battled in the shadows of silicon wafers. But what's the real story behind their fight for the throne? Today, we unearth the clash that powers your tech. Picture the 1960s, the Beatles, moon landings, and the birth of the microprocessor. Intel sprang to life in 1968. By the following year, AMD joined the scene. While both began by peddling RAM, it wasn't long before the processor battleground was drawn. Intel's 1971 release, the 4004 microprocessor, was revolutionary, marking the world's first commercially available chip. But the real game began with Intel's x86 architecture, which would come to dominate the PC landscape. Meanwhile, AMD started as Intel's alternative, but they had loftier ambitions. By the 1980s, they offered Intel-compatible chips, igniting the first flames of rivalry. As the 90s rolled in, AMD tried cloning Intel's chips, sparking legal showdowns. Intel, possessing 85% market share by the mid-90s, seemed invincible. Yet AMD argued for open competition. Courtrooms marked this era, but the actual outcome? Relentless innovation. Come the 2000s, AMD's Athlon series shook the scene, outpacing Intel's famed Pentiums. Statistics showed AMD chips clocking better performance in several benchmarks, leading to 60% of global PC manufacturers opting for AMD in 2006. With its tick-tock strategy, Intel dominated the early 2010s, boasting over 80% of the CPU market. But the winds of change were blowing. AMD's 2017 Ryzen series reshaped the narrative, offering up to 50% more performance for the same price. Today, with AMD's market share rising above 30% for the first time in a decade, the rivalry is more alive than ever. From humble beginnings to courtroom clashes, underdog victories to technological wonders, the AMD versus Intel journey is an epic saga in the tech world. But which side of the silicon coin do you land on? Join the conversation below. Hit that like button if you learned something new today, and subscribe for more Tech Chronicles.